What is up, guys? My name is Faris and today we will be reviewing Marvel's Iron Man. And yes, I'm talking about the first Iron Man ever, which is, fun fact, one of the first few Marvel films ever to be released. Now, this film was released 2nd of May 2008, which really dates back to around 11 years ago. And let's run down the cast first. We have Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, or Iron Man himself. Jon Favreau, who directed the film, but also playing as a character called Happy Hogan. Gwyneth Paltrow as Pepper Potts, and Terrence Howard, who plays Rhodey. About him, well, he got replaced in another film by another actor, but we don't have to talk about that. And finally, Jeff Bridges as the main protagonist, Obadiah Stane. So as I mentioned before, this movie was directed by Jon Favreau and produced by Avi Arad and Kevin Feige. This film was nominated for 2 Oscars, and I don't think they won, but they should have. And they have one of the most badass soundtracks ever. Songs like Back in Black by AC/DC, and last but not least, Iron Man, written by Ozzy Osbourne, but performed by Black Sabbath. Really metal stuff. So this film runs for roughly 126 minutes, which would roughly give you around 2 hours and 6 minutes of epic awesomeness. And now let's get into the film itself. What I really like about this film is that how Robert Downey Jr. really brings the character to life. When you're watching this film, it feels like you're actually there with Iron Man. And I know superheroes don't exist, but trust me, when you're watching this film, you feel like they do. So, a rough rundown of the film. Robert Downey Jr., or Iron Man, or Tony Stark, is in the Middle East testing weapons before he gets kidnapped by a terrorist group. Now, this terrorist group tries to force him to make weapons, but somehow he makes an Iron Man armor, which is the first generation ever, and breaks his way out. But hold on, during his stay in the terrorist hideout, Obadiah Stane, or Tony Stark's successor, took over the company, which is Stark Industries. There you go. So during Tony's 3 months disappearance, Obadiah Stane took over Tony Stark. So when Tony Stark returned, Obadiah Stane was happy, but also let down that his position as CEO was taken away. And so given resources of being a weapons manufacturer, Tony Stark made his first, his first ever prototype Iron Man armor, which was really cool. One of my personal favorites. Was chromed out and had all these cool stuff. Okay, the video cut off, but as I was saying before, the armor had really cool stuff. And fast forward, he challenges Obadiah Stane, who refused to give up his position, and in turn they fight each other, and Obadiah Stane built his own set of Iron Man armor, which turned out to be extremely huge and bulky, but I really like the design myself. So they fight, but of course, heroes being heroes, Tony Stark wins. So enough about that. I just really want to talk about why I like the film. This movie was one of the first movies I can recall as a child. It really brings me back when I watch it this day. It remains one of my favorite Marvel films ever, and one of my most cherished films, even when I'm 20. So, I give this movie a 9 out of 10. The reviews you see online would give you a 7.9 or an 8.3, but I personally would give you a 9 out of 10. This movie is one of the best films ever released, and I feel you should watch it and you would enjoy it as well. Thank you for watching. See you next time.